Hello everyone, I am the White Angel, and I am a conservative. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is the Reformation that I speak of? What is Reformed conservatism? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the truth is Western civilization is slowly dying from within. It is decaying, it is rotting due to excess liberalism, excess progressivism. Now, why is this? Is it just because progressives are awful? And yes, certainly they are quite awful. No, we can't blame everything on them. It's so much easier to point the finger than it is to accept the blame. The truth is, we are suffering in an era of weak conservatism. The neocons are representing conservatism in the government. And there are weak conservatives whose only platform is, oh my god, look how terrible the leftists are, and then provide no alternative. Looking at you, Shapiro, and Dave Rubin. You guys are going to talk all the time about how awful the left is, but you don't really provide an alternative. You need to convince people why conservatism is truly better. You can't just say, oh, we're not them. Yeah, that was the frickin' platform of the Democratic Party. The party of we're not Trump. You really want to be like them, or do you want to be above them? Let's take the moral high ground for a minute and say that conservatism really is weak, and it is because of our weakness that Western civilization is going down the fucking toilet. Then we have to not only point the finger, but also accept blame. We can point the finger at the left for being truly awful and being politically tribal and being like, anyone who isn't us is bad. How is what you're doing any different? Do we really want right versus leftism destroying our civilization? Or do we want to provide a reasonable alternative to that? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this will be the alternative. Reformed conservatism. Welcome to the Reformation, my friends. Welcome to the movement that will breathe life back into the flame, into the spirit of Western civilization. I am breathing life back into it single-handedly because there's no one at my back. Not yet. I am literally all by myself. But I will start Reformed conservatism. I will create the Reformation, and you are certainly welcome to it. If you are a patriotic lover of Western civilization and lover of your country, USA, motherfucker, welcome to the Reformation, my friend. Welcome. So what is going to be this Reformed platform? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we need to bring back our morals. We need to examine the moral values of both the pre-Christian and post-Christian eras. We need to look at the pillars of Western civilization, and we need to represent those things all together as one entity in a way that we can't just talk about it. We also have to live it. We have to live at that reality. You know, we can't just talk the talk. We also have to walk the walk. You know what I'm saying? We have to walk the walk. Like the pre-Christian value of honor and personal image, keeping your name clean among your folk, and supporting the members of your tribe. You can't just talk the talk. You got to walk the walk, man. You got to set a moral standard for yourself, and then hold to it as strongly as possible. And that means setting a standard that is realistic and easy to reach. And then as you get better and better as a person, you can reach a little higher and a little higher incrementally. Same goes with what they call New Year's resolutions or the New Year's promise. You make small promises that are easy to reach, and you get better and better and better. And you can get loftier with each passing year. Then the more post-Christian stuff like the Enlightenment, the rights of a child, compassionism, being compassionate for your fellow man. Those are great things. Those are wonderful things. Why aren't we more compassionate for our fellow man? We're too selfish. I'm telling you. We need to be more compassionate towards Mother Nature. Stop littering the surface of the planet with garbage that isn't biodegradable. That is something the progressives actually have right. Although there was that incident in California where they had complained about plastic straws wrapped in paper, and now they have paper straws wrapped in plastic. Yeah, good job there. The problem didn't change; it just changed. Just the cause of the problem changed hands. Fantastic. The problem was, be careful what you wish for, right? The Arabs have this notion called the monkey's paw. I can't remember his name, but there was a famous Arab philosopher who talked about it. They call it the monkey's paw, which was sort of the unintended side effect of getting what you want. That the things that you wish for come with unintended baggage. And he was absolutely true. It was absolutely true. I ordered a really big sandwich at Denny's, or I should say a rather delicious vegetarian sandwich at Denny's, and the monkey's paw, in effect, the sandwich I got was so fucking huge, it was a giant mess. Right? That is a simple, everyday, mundane example of a monkey's paw. That the things that you want come with unintended side effects, and it's up to you to clean up the mess. I ordered a delicious vegetarian sandwich, and the monkey's paw, it turned out that it was really huge and really messy. There's a perfect example. So, and the thing in California, it is the monkey's paw. The monkey's paw, you got what you wanted. You got rid of the plastic straws that was wrapped in paper, but you didn't account for the government or businesses being ignorant jackasses who didn't really communicate with you as to what you wanted, and instead you got the monkey's paw giving you paper straws wrapped in plastic. You get what I'm saying? As great as our civilization is, we can look to the ideas of other civilizations and we can nod in agreement like, yeah, you guys are right about that. And that monkey's paw concept, like, they are totally 100% correct. That is so profound and is so relevant to life, it is not even funny. So yeah, we need to look at our values of various eras. We need to look at the pillars of Western civilization. I'll do a video series about Western civilizations and the pillars of it. And today I'm going to talk about something that I'm working on creating, which I like to call sex conservatism. This is my creation as far as I know. Okay? Right, we need sex conservatism. Why do we need it? It is a conservative alternative to pride, to gay pride, to LGBT pride, to Pride Month. It is a more conservative alternative to that. Me as a bisexual male, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say it loud, I'm going to say it proud. Sex conservatism. What is it? Well, I'm glad you asked that. Hypothetically, you asked that, obviously. Sex conservatism, in a nutshell, is displays of sexual activity. Where do they happen? Where are they allowed to happen? In the bedroom. Okay? Sexual activity in public, public displays of sexuality like they do at the Pride Parade. No. Wrong. Disgusting. Horrible. Perverted. If you're into that sort of thing, save it for the fucking bedroom. People don't need to see that. Little children do not need to see that. It can fuck them up in ways you don't understand. That is for the bedroom. Secondly of all, what is other proper conduct? Is it okay for men to dress up like women, be drag queens? You know what? You're not hurting anyone. You're not violating the NAP, which I think is a part of our my reformed platform, the non-aggression principle. You're not hurting anyone, but at the same time, you are doing something that is technically perverted. And it sort of warps people's perception of gender norms. We need gender norms, and we need gender roles. I hate that word gender. We need sex roles and sex norms to form an appropriate standard for society, because men and women are, guess what? Different. I have Y chromosome. A woman has X chromosome. I have testosterone and various other forms of androgens that make me a superior athlete. She has estrogen and other hormones that make her superior at managing social norms. Women are the glue that keeps the tribe together. If men lay the bricks to build his society, then surely it is women who ultimately are the brick and mortar he uses to build with. The woman is the vital material needed to build that society. You know what I'm saying? We need them to have children. We need them to support us in every stupid, idiotic thing we do. And yes, sometimes men do stupid shit. And women need to be patient and compassionate to understand that sometimes, in order to find out what real intelligence is, sometimes you got to do something that's a little bit stupid. Men dress one way, women dress another way. Men act one way, women act another way. All right? And that is how we create a balance in society. Women are the counterweight to men and vice versa. That creates a balanced system. So yes, men should not dress like women. Women should not dress like men. Drag is a sort of perverted activity, and it's not directly harming anyone. So you can do it, but you need to understand that it is not normal, and you must compromise with society. Therefore, you can do it under restricted conditions. You can set up a private space, like a club or a bar or somewhere you can go to do it. But you can't do it outside of that space. It's wrong. Okay? You can't do cross or strip. Right? It has to take place indoors in a special setting. Kink is perversion. Period. It is not right. It is not natural. It is not healthy. Humans are humans. We are not any other species. Furries and dog costumes are sick and disgusting because it fetishizes animals and animal anatomy. All right? That is very, very closely related to bestiality. And drag kids, that is a sick and disgusting and perverted thing as well. Now, I'm going to introduce you to something that is extremely uncomfortable to talk about, okay? It is called bachabazi. It is a practice in certain parts of the Arabian Peninsula and other Arab nations that the Taliban was vehemently against, albeit for the wrong reasons, just because it was gay. This is a practice where boys between the ages of 12 and 18 are taken, dressed up like women in drag, in sexually arousing clothing, taught erotic dance for the entertainment of the upper middle class in nations like Afghanistan. They then wait for the men to become sufficiently aroused, and then they take the boy to a hotel and give it to him through the back door. So what's the difference between drag kids and bachabazi? Not a lot. Not a lot. A drag kid dresses up like a woman and performs erotic dance. A bachabazi kid dresses like a woman, does erotic dance. The difference is the bachabazi kid is inevitably going to be raped at least once, whereas the drag kid is probably not going to be raped, hopefully, as far as we know. But they are very, very similar. It is clearly for the purpose of arousal. I'm sorry, but it's true. Desmond is amazing, is a disgusting little pervert. His parents are perverts. RuPaul is a pervert. It's okay to have a same-sex partner, but it's not okay to make public displays of sexuality like that. That is sick and disgusting. That is sick and disgusting. Dress normal, act normal, talk normal with your same-sex partner. If you want to march for like the cause of like gay rights, then walk down the street, hold hands, or stare into each other's eyes and say, "I love you. I love you too." And then make that the display. You know, normal, healthy, romantic attitudes, not this sick, disgusting, "I'm going to stick my fingers up your ass because I love you, darling," in the middle of fucking public. That is sick. Stop it. Okay? If you want society, this is a message specifically for LGBT people. If you want society to accept us, then you need to compromise with society. Show them that we're all not just a bunch of sick, gross perverts. Okay? The last person I was in a relationship with was a man. Okay? I could end up in another relationship with a man someday. Who knows? I'm a bisexual. But that kind of behavior is simply not appropriate. You do not stick your fingers up your boyfriend's ass in public. I'm sorry, you don't do that. And women, like lesbians, you don't do that shit. The only public displays for, showing people that you have morals. That is how you get accepted. You show them that you have morals, okay? Showing them that you have no morals is only going to lead to an increase of rejection. Okay? Do you want to be rejected by society? Do you want to continue seeing LGBT kids thrown out of the home by their parents? Like in places like the Deep South? Do you want people to continue saying that the gay lifestyle is all about drugs and booze and getting wasted and being an asshole? If you want people to stop saying those things, then you need to become a living contradiction to that image. You need to be the opposite of that. The root of all good is self-denial. You have to deny yourself to be a truly good person, because there's things you want in your heart that just aren't right. That is the truth. There's things you want in your heart that just aren't right. Think about a story from the awesome action series, the 1970s. This TV show was absolutely important for the acceptance of Asians in America. It was called Kung Fu, starring David Carradine as a martial artist. It should have starred Bruce Lee. He could have had the part, but people weren't confident in his acting ability yet. Boy, did his role on Green Hornet prove them absolutely wrong. But anyway, this guy Kwai Chang Caine, right? He comes out, and at some point he literally has a martial arts battle with his own inner darkness, his own inner evil. He was cloned, and this clone basically was the enemy within. It was his own inner darkness, his own inner evil. You need to fight the darker side of your nature. You can't just let it dominate your life. You have to fight it and win against it. If necessary, you can compromise with your shadow, and you can let it self-actualize if it's doing no harm, right? But if it is going to do something awful, if it is going to influence you to do something absolutely horrible and evil, then you must fight it. That is why the root of all good is self-denial, denying of the sick, evil part of the self, which is absolutely real and is absolutely there. Therefore, the root of all evil would be the opposite of self-denial. Rather, it is the denial of the external, the denial of everyone else. You deny society, you deny others. All that matters is what you want. That is the very root of evil. So yes, we must conform as best we can in our same-sex relationships to societal norms. We must be monogamous. We must dress appropriate to our biological sex. We must keep all displays of sexuality in the bedroom. And any displays that we do in public should only be displays of affection. And the level of intimacy must be curbed so that other people are not offended, distracted, or ultimately made to feel distress. You can hold hands and kiss in public. And if some bigot comes along and is like, oh, I hate seeing same-sex couples kiss in public, tell them off. Tell them off. Sometimes it is perfectly okay to give someone a middle finger and say, fuck you. Sometimes you have to do that, right? You gotta say, fuck you. Because sometimes the things people want to say and want to do just aren't right. So my position is, if some bigot says that to you, say, fuck you. And if some pervert wants to do the pride style thing, and, you know, the stick his fingers in his boyfriend's ass in public, fuck you. Societal norms forever, bitch. Let the gay couples act exactly like straight couples. Why? Because that's morals. That's morals. We are all perfectly legitimate. And, you know, homosexual couples should be called upon. They obviously can't reproduce, but they should be called upon to adopt children. To be the B team that picks up the slack from the straight couples. The heterosexual couples who are reproducing and they can't handle the load of children in society, that's where the homosexual couples come in to pick up the slack. That is your duty and responsibility to society to adopt children. If you're not adopting children, then you are not doing your civic duty. You have a civic duty to take care of the children that the heterosexuals cannot. No act could be more loving than to adopt an abandoned child who has no one. Nothing could be more loving. And nothing could be more loving to your heterosexual neighbor than to help them pick up their slack. And nothing could be more loving to your homosexual neighbor to show your support for who they are and what they are. That, in a nutshell, is sex conservatism. The same morals and rules apply to everyone, and it is all about love. True love. That is to say, loving your neighbor in the sense that you don't agree with everything they do. If they're doing something wrong, you call them out. You tell them, hey, buddy, I love you, but you're wrong. You are so wrong right now. But at the same time, you're like, compassion. You don't want to hurt people, because hurting people creates suffering. And misery loves company. Pain loves company. Suffering will echo through society like ripples in a pond. Once one person begins to suffer, it spoils their mood. Let's say I get angry and punch you in the face, right? Well, once there was one angry person, now there's two. Because I was angry, and now you're angry too, because I punched you in the face. The feeling of anger has now migrated from one person to another, and that cycle will continue until someone learns to turn the other cheek and say, look, I know you made me suffer, but I'm not going to make you suffer, because that just makes it worse. You don't put out fire by pouring fire on it. You put out fire by pouring water on it. You put out fire by pouring sand on it. You know what I'm saying? You end suffering by responding to suffering with its opposite. Love their hate. Buddhists believe in it. Christians believe in it. Hindus believe in it. Why do they all believe in it? Because it's true. It can be proven with the understanding of causality. If you respond to hate with hate, all you get is more hate. You respond to hate with love, then that's how the cycle will end and you get love. But that's sex conservatism in a nutshell. You're applying to the proper sex norms, to the proper coupling norms. It's just that your relationship might be homosexual or heterosexual. In either case, you have a civic duty. It is the heterosexual civic duty to reproduce, and it is the homosexual's duty to pick up the heterosexual slack. It is absolutely the way it needs to be. We're all in this together. We're all American citizens. You know what I'm saying? Be compassionate, be loving, just be kind. Our civilization is dying, but we can breathe life back into it if we just try. Simply pointing out how awful the left is not good enough. We need to create a platform, people. And since none of you seem willing to do it because you're all weak conservatives, here I am to do it for you. Because sometimes concerned citizens got to pick up other people's messes. Like seeing litter across the highway and nobody's going to clean up their fucking mess, so I got to do it. Fucking litter bugs are disgusting, man. You fucking people are disgusting. Alright? I'll clean up your mess for you, but I'll tell you straight up, you're fucking disgusting. You're gross, man. I love you, but you're gross. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for this video. Welcome to the Reformation.